we'll move on to our wordy questions where they're asking for addition and subtraction, but you have to read the question to find what they're asking. So here in the example, we've got the Eiffel Tower and we've got Mount Everest. So the two numbers we're given are 324 and 8,848. So we've got the two numbers, and then we've got to find out what we've got to do with them. So here it's asking how much taller. So is this going to be adding or taking away if we're trying to find how much taller something is? Can anyone tell me? Yes?
It is taking away.
Yes, it is. Perfect.
Is the calculation 8,848 minus 324?
It is, yes. So that's what it will be. So here, as we can see down here, we've got the sum. Because it's how much taller, we need to take away. So then you have to use your long subtraction and you work through the units. And then you go all the way through. And this one you didn't need to do any carrying any units along because all the numbers at the top were bigger. So that's a nice and easy one. All right, so for the next questions, can you identify the numbers and then see if it's adding and subtracting and then tell me the answers, okay? So this is how much we have in total. And then we go shopping and we spend £2.30. And then we spend £4.60. And then finally, we spend £1.10. So we're adding all of these together. So we can see if we add all the units together, it's 0, 0, and 0. So that makes our life very easy. We know it's going to be 0 at the end because we're not adding any of these even hundredths together. So now we add 3, 6, and 1. 3, 6, and 1 give us 10. So we're going to get another 0, and we're going to have to carry the 1 to the next one. We've got a decimal point there. So then we add 2, 4, and 1. 2, 4, and 1. So that's 2 and 4 is 6. Sorry. We've got 2 and 4 is 6. And then we've got 1, which is 7. Well, remember, we've got another one here. So we've got 8. So we spend £8 and we have £15. So how much money do we have left? So the question is asking, what is 15 minus 8? Okay. Ooh, there we go. So what is 15 minus 8, Arisha?
15 minus 8 is 7.
Yes, 7, perfect. So, we just had to add up all the money we spent and then take it away. Because you can do it with 15 minus 30 minus, minus, and minus. But it's a lot easier to add all the money we spent and then take it away in one go. Right, do you want to try the last question for me? Yes?
I'm doing the last one.
You've done the last one? Perfect. So, yeah, Kirsten, can you tell me what you got for question 3?
£8.
Question 3.
Oh, question
The photo one. Yeah, we've just done the question 2 together.
Yeah.
So
4020.
4020 is correct. Right. Rashita, can you tell me what you got for question 1? Okay.
Answer I got was 290 for question 1.
Perfect. Thank you. Right. So, once we have, for question 2, the big thing was, it was just testing to see if you understood. When you go shopping for sweets, or if you go with your parents, first when you go shopping, you go, okay, I can only spend £100. But when you go round the shop, you pick up a bag of apples and this, and you add all the things you're going to have all together as one to make sure you're under 100. So for this question, it's just making sure to see if you can think like that, but it's how you would normally do things, okay? So if we go on to, I have a few more on this page. So if you want to try these ones out too, again, they can be adding or minus. Get all of them, but so do you all have the CGP book? Yeah?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So could you do for homework page 10 and 11 for me? And then can you take a picture of your homework that you do, or the answers, and then upload it? Your parents will know where to upload it. If not, email in, and then we'll be able to do it. Yes.
Miss, there's
Yes.
this thing I have in my school, and it's an app called Math Frame, and and you can do your times tables on there, and it gives you 6 seconds to answer each timetable. And when I do, I answer in 1 second.
Good. So next week, we're now going to go every single week. We're going to do little tests on timetables. Next week, we'll be doing 3 times tables. So can you all practice as well your 3 times tables? I'm sure you're all really great at them. But if you can just do little times tables, because we're going to be doing quick tests of times tables. Yes.
In here. So today we're going to be discussing adjectives and adverbs. So we discussed this in the first session. So can someone please tell me, just we're going to remind what we talked about before. So can anyone please tell me what we decided an adjective was? If you could all comment in the chat, you can comment it privately so that only I can see. Just say what you guys think an adjective is, okay? I'll give you a few seconds just to quickly type that in.
Miss?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I just want you guys to quickly put in the chat for me what you think an adjective is. Okay? Great. Is there anyone who hasn't had time to do that yet, or are you all done? Okay. So if you have written, oh, hang on. We'll go through today's objectives first. Just knowing what an adjective is, what an adverb is, and then hopefully being able to then use them and be able to identify them in a sentence. Okay, so those are the things we're going to go through today. If you've said that an adjective is a describing word, then you would be correct. So obviously last week we discussed nouns, which were a person, place, or thing. And a adjective is a describing word, a word which you would use to describe a noun. Okay, so I've given some examples here, which are beautiful, graceful, loud, and handsome. So to put these in context for you, the noun which you would be describing, you could say that a girl is beautiful, and the girl would be the noun and beautiful would be the adjective. You could say that the swan moved gracefully. The swan would be if the swan was graceful, the swan would be the noun and graceful would be the adjective. If you want to say that the music was very loud, music would be the noun and loud would be the adjective. If you want to say that the boy was very handsome, the boy is the noun and handsome is the adjective. Okay, so that is an adjective, and I've just got a quick activity. How do I move this away? Here we go. So I've got a quick adjective activity for us to do. So if we're all going to go to the chat part of the call, please, and I would like you to fill in the adjectives that make sense in these sentences. So we've got a list of sentences here, and they've all got a blank space that you guys need to fill. We have adjectives here on the left-hand side, and I want you to look through. They're all starting with the same letter. They're all starting with the letter B. So the first one is the something dog slept in his dog house. Okay, so you can have a look through the list of adjectives. For some of the sentences, a few of them might fit. You might be able to describe the noun in multiple ways, but just if you guys write down any of these nouns on the left hand side you see here, if you rewrite this, in fact all you can do is probably just write down the actual adjective. So rather than writing the whole sentence, I just want you guys to go to the chat and tell me which adjective you guys would use in that sentence. Which one do you think fits? Just going to give you a couple seconds to all put that into the chat for me. Okay, the next one is Ahmed's car is something. Okay, so have a look at the list of adjectives and decide which one you think would fit in that sentence and just put it into the chat for me. Fab. The next one is the something potato was steaming hot. This one should be quite obvious what the adjective is. So just have a little look through that list and decide which one you think fits in that sentence. Okay, has everyone had a chance to do that one? Yep. Okay, the teacher talked on and the boy became something. What adjective do you think could go in there? If you just want to comment that in the chat for me. Okay. The next one is the tall something yellow flower is called a sunflower. So which adjective do you think could fit in there? Okay. The next one is the something storm blew hard on the house, breaking the roof. Okay. So which adjective do you think could go in there? This one's a bit trickier. So just have a little look through all those adjectives and decide which one you think would fit in best there. Okay. The next one is the something taste of the medicine was still in my mouth. Okay. So which adjective do you think could be used there? Just comment that in the chat for me. Okay. The next one, please. Fatima is my something friend. Which adjective do you think fits in there? Okay. The next one is the something scissor would not cut. Which adjective do you think fits in there? Okay. The last one is the something sun shined in my eyes. Okay. So I think you've all given very good answers, so that's amazing. Thank you for doing that, guys. So that's just a little bit of how to use adjectives in a sentence, and it sort of enforces for you guys what adjectives actually are. So I think we all seem quite confident with that, so that's great. We'll go back to my PowerPoint. So that is adjectives. Now, the main thing we're going to sort of be discussing today is what is an adverb. So similar to adjective, it does describe, but obviously it also says verb. Now, as you guys know, we talked about this in the first session. A verb is a doing word. So, you know, a verb is sort of to run, to jump, to walk, anything like that. It's a doing word. It's something that you do. Okay, so here we've got the combination of an adjective and a verb, which comes out as you use an adverb to describe the way that the doing word is being done. So say, for the example I give, you know, to run. So the adverbs here, you just add an ly onto the end of an adjective, and that makes it an adverb. So there are some which it doesn't work with, but here are a few examples, and you'll probably have heard these a lot when people talk, and you just don't really realize that that's what these are. They are adverbs. So beautifully, she might be dancing, dancing being the verb, beautifully being the adverb, because what she is doing is dancing, and the description of how she's doing it is beautifully. Okay. Loudly, you could use it to describe, you know, stomping. She was stomping loudly. Stomping would be the verb and loudly would be the adverb. Okay. So adverbs are ly ending words, and they describe a doing word. So I've got a couple of different activities for us to do with this. For the first sentence, excitedly, Molly opened the present. So the verb would be opened, because that's the thing that she's doing. And the adverb would be excitedly, because that is the description of how she is opening the present. Okay. So just going to ask you guys now to tell me your answers. So Kershon, for the next sentence, we've got, she stopped briefly and looked inside. Do you want to tell me what the adverb is here?
It's briefly.
Yep, perfect. And what would the verb be?
Looked.
That is a verb, but the verb that's being described here is this one. We've got stopped, because briefly is describing how she stopped, not how she looked. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, briefly is the adverb, which is perfect. Right, now the next sentence that we've got is, slowly the girl walked home from school. Krish, would you like to tell me what you think the adverb is in this sentence?
The adverb is slowly.
Yeah, perfect. And what is the verb which is being described by this adverb?
Walked.
Walked, yes, perfect. So we can go through and actually, why don't we just highlight the verbs in a different color? So, oh no, I didn't want to do that. I want to highlight it. There we go, that's better. Okay, so these are the words which are, these are the verbs which the adverb goes with. Go, walked, verb. So we've got, in pink, we've got verbs, and yellow, we've got adverbs. Okay, so the next one is, hungrily, she ate her tea. So who, Kershon and Krish have already gone. Thanav, do you want to tell me what you think the adverb is in this sentence?
Hungrily.
Yes, perfect. And what's the verb that that's describing?
Ate.
Yes, perfect. Amazing. Thank you. Because the eating is what is being described by how she does it.